Welcome to the TC Fandom update, where I'm going to be talking about updates from fandom that have recently come out, seeing as our original production, the podcast, doesn't actually talk that much about new information. Unfortunately, I will not be able to talk about every fandom in existence. However, I will report on ones that I am aware there is news of. I'm going to start with shows that are returning this autumn, or fall if you're American. Supernatural is returning at 9 PM on Tuesdays from October 7th. I, like many people, weren't happy about a lot of the decisions made in the last series. However, the new series brings hope of characters' motivation being written well and clearly and true to themselves, and female characters not being written off. Who am I kidding? It's Supernatural. Of course that's going to happen. However, the cliffhanger from last series, spoiler alert, Dean having black eyes, might bring some new elements to the show. Except, Sam was half demon for a really long time, and then Dean came back from hell being kind of like a demon after torturing souls. I don't know if there'll actually be that much of a difference. Or maybe it'll be different because Castiel's going to be there and really supportive and in with them. Oh wait, no, Castiel thinks he's dead and it's going to be on another soul-searching journey across the country without the brothers and with another female character who will probably disappear. Wait, maybe it'll be different because Crowley is now more human than Dean. Two Bro Girls are returning on October 27th from Mondays at 8 PM. American Horror Story Freak Show is going to start October 8th on Wednesdays from 10 PM. For those who don't know, this series is going to be circus-centered, which at least for me makes it one of the most anticipated series. You can say a lot about Ryan Murphy and his writing of Glee and Next to Normal, but he always delivers when it comes to American Horror Story. Bob's Burgers starts October 5th Sundays from 7:30 PM. I don't have any comments about this except I'm just excited. October 30th brings back Elementaries from Thursdays at 10 PM. We have Natalie Dormer sadly leaving the set, but we also have a new character joining. This female character is going to be Sherlock's companion, and apparently is going to cause a catty fight between her and Joan. Whether this will be terribly written or decently written will depend, but I still have high hopes for the show. Faking It is returning September 23rd on Thursdays at 10:30 PM. For most of us, we are holding our breath on how we're meant to feel about this show, and I believe the general consensus is they should either get Karma and Amy together or they shouldn't, and have more interesting subplots to the show, preferably that do not include Liam, otherwise they could lose a lot of viewers. Once Upon a Time is returning September 28th on Sundays from 8 PM, where Frozen is coming to Storybrooke. Whether this will lead to an actual good story arc, or whether just jumping on the Frozen bandwagon will be yet to see. I am hoping at least Emma will be the main person of this series, and it will not just be Regina once again. As much as I love Regina, Emma's character hasn't been developed that well for a main character. Sadly, Game of Thrones, Hannibal, Orphan Black, Parks and Rec, Lost Girl, Orange is the New Black, and Community are yet to be announced, but you know they are returning this fall. Among the yet to be announced is Glee, which quite frankly is astounding as this show should have ended a long time ago. However, this series might be the actual end, seeing as many actors wanted to leave, well, a long time ago. For Doctor Who fans, we are currently 5 episodes in out of this series' 12 episodes, and a lot of fans are happily enjoying the change from Matt Smith to Peter Capaldi, as they find him a far more bearable character. Others feel that changing the actor doesn't change the most off-putting aspect of the last few series, which is of course, Moffat is still in charge. However, we have high hopes for this series as Peter Capaldi has been known to argue with the head writer. If nothing else, you can just mute the show and watch the pretty expensive graphics. Okay, for the Rooster Teeth fandom, I'm going to start with some PSAs, which I feel like is going to be the way most of this goes. Achievement hunter Caden Jensen's girlfriend Valerie Lynn has decreed that no one should take pictures from her Twitter of Caden and post them onto other sites. What Caden posts himself is perfectly okay to use, but she feels taking it from her Twitter is crossing some boundaries. She has stated that she feels that people think of him as an achievement hunter before an actual person and her boyfriend. And she's expressed dislike that people often say, oh, I'm in love with him and I'd be perfect for him, and thinks it's rather creepy, which is really understandable seeing as they are actually dating, so please be respectful of her wishes. However, when it comes to fanfiction, while her and Caden do not care for it, they aren't telling people to stop, and they're merely asking that you don't write dark fics and Psycho Teeth about them. Valerie should not be included at all, and Caden, please just do not put him in Dark and Psycho Teeth. It's a small request. For more information about how she feels, she posts stuff on her Twitter and Tumblr stating her feelings about this quite often. Meg Turney mentioned in one of her last videos that understandably, she is tired of people asking about her and Gavin Free's personal lives. In fact, the main thing was that a lot of people were asking about what sex was like with Gavin Free. That's really creepy, and I really didn't think this would have to be said, but don't send them such creepy personal messages. Don't send it to them or anyone, really. Tina Dayton has stated on her Tumblr that her and Ray Niles Jr. are officially dating and living together. She's made it clear that she and Ray do not want weird personal questions and prying into their private lives, as most people don't. Please just be respectful. So basically, for the RTU fandom, don't harass couples, don't harass individuals, stop asking very weird specific questions about sex and their dating. In terms of Rooster Teeth PSAs, Fuck Yachty Fanfic run an updated PSA on their blog, which tells you how each individual, if they have stated anything, feels about fanfiction and fandom. It tells you individual things like how Millie or any of the children at Rooster Teeth should not be put in any fanfiction ever, or how, Jeremy is very complimented by the fact that he is in fanfiction. Please do check it out, and they update very regularly just in case there is new information. In positive news, the long-awaited King Gavin Part 1 has been released and has lived up to many people's expectations. It really wouldn't be news apart from the fact that people have been waiting for this for a long time. There is a new series called Social Disorder from Chris and Aaron, which is basically a prank show. I don't care for prank shows all that much, but you should give it a whack for yourself and come up with a verdict. And of course, Ruby is airing too right now, and at least visually it is the most pleasing volume so far. They are balancing the teenage aspect and the kick-ass plot incredibly well. However, there is mixed response on how much time is being dedicated to romantic subplots. Like Jean and Pyrrha, Jean and Weiss and Neptune, Sun and Blake. But honestly, that's just nitpicking. I honestly really love this series. This is it from the fandom update for the moment. And I'm sorry that it's very Rooster Teeth, but we have a lot of problems with the fandom right now, and we just need to straighten a couple of things out before we start talking about anything else. For the most part, our Rooster Teeth will just be talking about more shows that are updating and have started. Thank you for joining the TC Fandom Update.